feel like I owe it to you, Isidore. You've been so good to me, and the last thing I want is to see you lose your chance at running this company someday. I want to help you however I can. Because you're right. It's clear that your father is no longer fit to run this company when you're more than capable of running it yourself. Vivian, what do you plan to gain from me becoming the CEO of Russo Jewelers? We can't turn back time, Max, no matter how much we want to. And believe me, if I could turn back time and make sure that Elissa was still with us, then I'd take that chance in a heartbeat. But it's never gonna happen. In fact, if you lost your life that day, you wouldn't have been missed. I actually wish it was you who lost your life instead of Elissa. How was school, Nichelle? I'm just ready to graduate, Mom. Hey, Yvette, want to tell me how your day went? No. And I wish that you didn't make me go back to school today. How come you gave me the silent treatment on the way back home, Vanessa? Because I couldn't even stand looking at you after you made Max feel guilty for Ulysses' passing. What I gain is seeing you bring Russo Jewelers into the future, Isidore. No, that's what I'd gain. I'm not going to ask you again, Vivian, because it seems like you want to benefit off of my success somehow. I understand that going to school without your sister was extremely difficult, but I'm proud of you for making it through the day, Nichelle. As for graduation, it will be here before you know it. Just enjoy your last year the best that you can. Enjoy being a senior without Ulissa in my life. Of course it won't be easy. You'll always miss your sister. I'll always miss her. But I don't want what happened that day to ruin your senior year. You're only a high school senior once. It's too late, Mom. My senior year is ruined. I don't only want to be done with high school, but I want to be done with school, period. After I graduate, I'm not going to college. You're on probation, Yvette. It wouldn't look good if you skipped school. Would my probation officer honestly be that heartless to not understand why I wasn't ready to go back to school today? When the last time I was at school, I saw Ulissa get blown away. I'm sure your probation officer would understand, but everyone who went back to school today struggled, baby. What happened to Ulissa was a tragedy, but we've got to keep on living. Except not everyone thinks I deserve to still be here. That's because Max should feel guilty. No, JJ, he shouldn't. Not when Max was harmed by Keith, because it seems like you forgot that detail. I didn't forget, Vanessa, but Max made a huge mistake that day, just like how I made a huge mistake not stopping Keith during Labor Day. Only if I did, Max wouldn't have ended up in the hospital to begin with. Keith is the only person to blame for Ulissa losing her life, not you or anyone else. Why are you so bent on blaming yourself and other people? What do you gain by bringing yourself and other people down to Keith's level? I only got sucked into this mess, Isidore. What I gain is getting myself out of it. Yet you refuse to sign over my father's shares to me. I already told you, these shares won't go to you until you're the head of Russo Jewelers. Taking this company won't be an easy task. Whether my father is still sane or not, I'll have to get votes from the rest of my family, and I'm not sure if they're ready for a huge change, especially seeing me as heading that change. That's where I come in. Are you saying that you want to take a gap year? What I'm saying, Mom, is that I'm not going to college at all. After I finish high school, I don't want to work under you. Since I'm the owner of this hotel, I want to work right by your side. But attending college can give you the resources you need to successfully run Theodosius' palace. You never went to college, Mom, and you're running this place just fine. Our situations are different, Nichelle. I never planned to run Theodosius' palace. My family groomed me to be a housewife who relied on my husband to take care of me. And thankfully, I saw how Devante ran this hotel. And Dad gave me the key to Valley Park. And I'm ready to unlock the door that's right in front of me. What do you mean by that, Yvette? Never mind. No, if someone is saying that they wish you weren't alive, then that's a serious issue. Mom, can we just drop it, please? What's going on here? Mom is starting to think that she's my therapist. Can I enjoy some time alone, especially after the day I had? Okay, after returning to school, you deserve a bit of a break. Are you gonna paint me as a bad guy for making sure that our daughter's rough day doesn't get any worse? I'm not trying to compare myself or anyone else to Keith. You sure could have fooled me. What do you expect me to do, Vanessa? Pretend as if people, including myself, couldn't have stopped Keith from doing what he did? Keith chose to bring a gun to school, JJ. He chose to pull the trigger that day. He's the only one who could have stopped himself from doing what he did. But it wasn't obvious to Max that Keith might have brought a gun to school when Keith snuck in? That didn't cross your mind, Vanessa? I know. I didn't just hear what I think I heard. What are you suggesting, Vivian? If Gianni finds out what's going on with your father and that your father gave me shares to Russo Jewelers, then Gianni would take advantage of the situation. I never considered you to be the sort of person to state the obvious. How do you plan to convince my family to vote me as the next CEO? I'm not going to, Isidore. Now you're just confusing me. What exactly is your plan? My plan is to convince the family to vote their shares over to me. Nichelle, don't you understand how many experiences you'll be missing out on? There are a number of people my age who don't even have close to what I have, trying to avoid student debts and go into the workforce right after high school. Besides, I'm not trying to be some nurse, lawyer, or engineer. Why waste time and money when I can just use that same time and money to make Theodosius Palace thrive? Okay, of course I can't force you to go to college. I'll support your decision just like I'll support you if you decide to change your mind. I won't. Is it a crime for me to ask our daughter how she's doing, Udell? Of course not, but it will hurt Yvette rather than help if you push her to open up when she's not ready, Wanda. Alright, let's just hope that before she enters a serious relationship, that she'd be willing to be honest about her feelings. JJ, you can't just go on blaming other people for what Keith did. That boy is still alive and he's going to face accountability. Sorry for upsetting you while you're curing your favorite child. You're hurt? I understand that losing Ulissa is the toughest thing you've ever had to face, but I am still your mother, and you will respect me. That also means that I'm here to help you heal from this. There's nothing you can say or do that will take the pain away, Mom. What are we supposed to do about him? Pray. Why would anyone in my family, in their right mind, hand the shares over to you? Because I'll tell them about your father's condition. No, Vivian, that is too risky. Just like it's too risky to tell them about your father asking your family to vote you in as CEO, Isidore. This is the best option. I'm just an intern. If I tell them what your father did, they're gonna want to take your father's place. I'll get the shares, and once I get enough, I'll sign them over to you, making you the majority shareholder. What about my mother? Do you think she'd vote against her husband? You tell me, do you think she'd risk her husband's mental health? Or do you think she'd want to spend more time with him during their golden years? Trust me on this, Isidore, just like you trusted me enough to work under you. Thank you so much for your loyalty, Vivian. Once the takeover is complete, I would truly like to repay you. The most I can do is offer you a better position in the company if you decide to stay. Thank you for trusting me, but we can figure out the details once you become CEO.